The date is August 2nd, 2024. Gaz, the adventurer behind the YouTube channel Grizzly Gaz, who is well known for his adventurous camping excursions and explorations, embarks on what appears to be a typical trek on a day that is ideal for camping. He parks in a quiet area, visits historic sites, and spends a calm evening with his devoted dog, Fendi. Everything is quiet and serene as night falls. Gaz is ready for a good night's sleep after taking a leisurely stroll. However, Gaz is startled awake as the night grows darker by a disturbing sound emanating from the forest's depths.
I ended up lying down for a bit, but I ended up just drifting off to sleep. It's been peaceful though, but I've just woken up to what sounded like someone screaming. Can't figure out what that is. Must be some type of bird.
He's never heard a sound like this before. It's weird and unsettling. Gaz goes out into the darkness with his torch piercing the dark night, determined to face whatever is causing this commotion, but nothing is visible. Trying to get rid of the discomfort, Gaz returns to his van and ultimately nods asleep again. What was the noise in your opinion? Tell us about it in the comments. Fortunately, there was no threat to Gaz's life. However, what if you end up in a potentially fatal situation while camping? The date is March 21st, 2024. An ideal sunny day to go camping. However, this day would become anything but normal for YouTuber Jody, who is well known for his Hunting the Dead channel. Jody has a fascination with the invisible and bravely and calmly explores the unknown, but that bravery will be put to the greatest test tonight. Jody goes into the notorious Skinwalker Forest by herself today, a land of mystery and terror. Unaware of the terrifying events that lie ahead, he parks his car and ventures into the woodland.
This is that place. I started thinking to myself, and I'll tell you about the story here in a little while, but I started thinking to myself, dude, I should just leave one of these up and camp here tonight and see what happens. I mean, we got this place for a few days. Why not? Why ask why when we can say why not? So check this big tent out. Now, the only downside about this is I don't have a pillow. I got a couple lights. I got some log warmers, or I don't know, use these things to like make your fire go. It doesn't look that comfortable, but I'm not really planning on sleeping if I'm going to be skinwalker hunting. Skinwalker hunting. Skinwalker hunting? I guess so. They say that they're here. I don't know.
Something disturbing happens when he starts to explain the spooky story of how this woodland earned its name.
Guys, there's somebody coming. Hold on, there's somebody fucking coming. Nobody's supposed to be back here. Who the fuck is that, bro? Hold on, there's somebody right there. There's somebody coming, guys. Hold on. Dude, what the fuck is going on here? Bro, what the fuck? Who the hell is that? Hello? Hey. Who is that?
Suddenly, in the dark, an automobile pulls up to Jody. As he runs for his tent's protection, you can hear the anxiety in his voice, but safety is the last thing he finds.
Hello? Hello? Whoa! Hello? God, I think it's a fucking animal. Shoot! Go! Go! Hitting the fucking ground. What is hitting the ground gonna do? Jesus. Get out of here!
His tent is touched. He initially believes it to be an animal, but isn't it possible that it's the people from the automobile he saw earlier? Jody summons the bravery to go outside and investigate, but the eerie sensation continues.
Dude, I might be freaking myself out, but I swear I just heard something. Okay, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
Deep in the forest, the sounds became louder. With the unsettling sounds pursuing him, he becomes more and more uneasy and withdraws to his tent.
Listen. That's the scariest shit in the world, bro, when you can hear it but you don't see it. Yo, who is that? Stop playing around with me. Who is that? Dude, what the fuck is going on? Stop, please. Please.
It is obvious that he is being played with by an invisible force. However, why? Is it merely an animal? Nobody is aware.
Is that a pig? Is that a fucking pig? Dude, there's an animal trying to get in down to the bottom of my fucking thing. Oh my God. Please stop. Wait, what if it's not a pig? What if it's a skinwalker? Bro, what if skinwalkers are really fucking pigs?
The sounds are unlike any animal he's ever seen. Could this be someone or something? At last, Jody finds the bravery to go outside and see who's there. However, nobody is visible.
Oh, where are you now, huh? Are you back here? Are you gonna run? You gonna run? Yeah, there's nobody back here. Hello? You've got to be kidding me. Hello? Dude, you've got to be kidding me.
His inquiries remain unanswered. Did the individuals from the automobile do it? Having fun with him? Or had it been something much darker? Jody is eager to get the truth, so she spends the entire night in the forest despite the unsettling incidents. Jody's responses sound sincere, despite some viewers speculating in the comments that it was all a setup. What are your thoughts? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. The sun has gone down on the evening of August 26th, 2024, but a mild breeze is still present. We join Dan Lee, the YouTuber of Cursed Urban, who is well known for his camping excursions and forest explorations, in this video. However, Dan's journey is set to take a horrifying turn tonight.
I go camping in a forest that's about an hour and a half north from where I live. The reports about this forest have been crazy, all types of activity there, all types of cryptids spotted there. But there was something even more terrifying waiting for me in that forest than any of that. Tonight's episode is terrifying, and it's an experience I certainly don't want to relive.
Dan makes the 1.5-hour drive to a forest known for its eerie customs and spooky past. He makes a fire and sets up camp before venturing into the shadowy forest. The only sound disturbing the eerie quiet is that of crickets.
I hear gunshots. Dude, that's gunshots. I hear gunshots coming from over there. Oh, that's never good.
Dan had hardly been exploring for 5 minutes when he hears gunfire coming from across the lake. Despite being unsettling, he persists in his quest to learn the secrets of the jungle.
Alright, we are back, and I hate to be this guy, dude. I almost didn't even want to say it, but while the camera was off, of course, I know I'm going to hear it in the comments, I heard some sort of weird, like, sound coming from that way. It sounded like, I don't know what it sounded like. It's nothing I've ever heard before. Something really weird, like a chattering sound almost. But there's no animal that I know of that makes that sound. All right, we got spirit talk around. Let's see if we get anything.
He hears an odd sound all of a sudden. He hastily snatches his camera and goes in pursuit of the sound. Then, while he is far into the forest, he hears laughter close, which makes him shiver.
There's been... Oh, that scared me, dude. There's some hikers on a trail adjacent to mine, and... Oh, dude, my heart is...
Dan chooses to return to his campground because he feels nervous.
I don't know. I think I'm going to start heading back the other way towards the campsite. Yeah, I am. Because I don't want to... I know all these people camping can see me for sure with my lights out here, but... I don't want to push my luck and get too close to them. I know they're far away, but still.
Dan hides in his tent back at camp. I'm hoping for a quiet night, but that won't be the case.
Alright guys, I'm going to try and get some rest. And I don't know if I'll be successful or not, but I'll certainly try. So good night, see you in a couple hours.
Something or someone is lurking just outside, shining a torch on his tent while he falls asleep. Dan is asleep and doesn't realize it until he is startled awake by the sound of motorcyclists speeding through the woods.
Shut up! Dude, these people don't stop. They're just racing up and down this road.
I'm awake now. Dan attempts to use a spirit box to speak with the spirits. However, he hears something outside as he listens in stillness.
Hello? Hello? I don't know what that was. I think it was just an animal, but...
He looks out and sees nothing. However, the feeling of being observed intensifies.
It's just really, really weird that we get Others were scared. And then we hear something in the next minute outside the tent. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go review the footage real quick that I took while I was sleeping.
Dan discovers that someone or something was close to his tent while he was asleep after viewing the video he took throughout the night. He hastily gathers his belongings and departs from the wilderness, terrified, swearing to never go back. But what was hiding in the woods that night is still a mystery. It's unsettling to know that in some cases, people, rather than ghosts or animals, can pose the greatest threat to you. This is CJ, who can be found on the CJ Face On YouTube account. Here in Delaware, he's venturing into one of the most haunted forests in the country today. This woodland, which is well known for its spooky legends and long history, has a haunted cabin, the kind of place you don't want to be by yourself. But he's going to do precisely that. The reputation of these woodlands is one of mystery and terror. Numerous ghost stories and local traditions have focused on the haunted cottage in particular. It is said to be a location where the most eerie remnants of the past can be found. He arrives at the ghostly cottage as night falls, eager to investigate.
What in the fuck? Listen, I don't care what anybody says. This place at night ramps up.
He takes a brief break to eat some pizza and drink some water, but the frightening night begins when he hears an inexplicable noise coming from the haunted mansion.
It's like this all the time. You provoke, nothing happens. And then it's like, boom, surprise, bitch. Wake up! And that right there, folks, that is the first solid move to pissing things off. Every time I do that, I have some good luck. I get good evidence. Some awesome stuff happens. Who knows? It might happen again tonight. You never know. But that's what you gotta do. You gotta piss it off sometimes. Right?
To add to the difficulty, he goes to the deserted house and yells, "Wake up!" while he knocks on the glass. He had no idea that this was only the start of an evening full of terrifying experiences. He is eager to investigate what is haunting this house.
The fuck was that? No fucking way! That was the fucking van. Get the fuck out of here. Holy fucking shit. That was definitely the horn.
Just as he is discussing the Ouija board, he hears his van beeping loudly. There's nobody there when he dashes out. After deciding to do another investigation, he drives his van to the haunted cabin. There are some strange sounds coming from the woods, but then he enters the house.
Holy shit, that was right above me. That was right above me. That would be right here. It would literally be at the top of these steps.
A huge blast suddenly reverberates across the room, as though something is trying to announce itself. As he makes his way upstairs, he hears the same enigmatic sounds.
Hang on, it sounds like they're knocking again.
This time there's knocking, but where is it coming from? Downstairs, feeling a little more at ease, he attempts to speak with the ghost who haunts this building using a spirit box.
The past couple of times I've been here and I've done the spirit box session with you, you have said that you don't want light. I'm not going to turn out my light because then my camera cannot see anything. What if I close my eyes? Would you like that at least?
Building.
Okay, so you want me to close my eyes in the building here. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes then. Alright, I'm going to keep my eyes closed.
Through the device, the spirit requests that he keep his eyes closed. After he obeys, this startling event occurs.
What the hell is the third option? You gonna love me? You gonna hate me? Ah! What the fuck? What the fuck was that? I don't even know what the fuck that was. It was the loudest fucking noise ever. I just spit on myself. What in the actual fuck? Oh my fuck. There's something going on with glass. So that's fallen out of the cabinet. Now there's this glass thing broken right here. Oh, where the fuck did that fall from?
Someone throws a plastic bottle across the room. This suggests something strong and invisible. He makes the decision to leave the eerie house and take a quick look outside.
What the fucking shit was that, motherfucker? You piece of fucking shit!
From deep within the woods, a spine-tingling scream pierces the atmosphere. He gets shivers at the sound. He returns to his van to spend the night after deciding he's had enough. In an attempt to catch some sleep, he enfolds himself in his sleeping bag. He relives the events of the night. Was it something more evil, or had he met a restless spirit? He has more questions than answers after this event, that much is certain. January 13th, 2012. A typical winter day in the Canadian province of Ontario. The forest was illuminated by a gentle golden glow from the sun, and the air was clear. Deep in the bush, it was the ideal place for 3 men to labor for the day. However, what began as a typical day would quickly turn into a terrible one. The silence was suddenly broken by a disturbing sound that reverberated through the trees. It was far away at first, but as it got louder and more intense, the men couldn't get rid of the sense that something was seriously off. One of the employees immediately took out his phone and began filming the inexplicable sound. The once tranquil forest now seemed to be teeming with an invisible force. What might be causing the noise? More significantly, from what source was it emanating? The internet quickly took note after the video was posted on the YouTube channel, The Gift Laker, later that evening. Speculations and terrifying confirmations were all over the comments section. "I live 30 minutes away from this town, and I can confirm the sounds are still there and haven't left," one commenter asserted. What might this sound be? Is it a natural occurrence or something darker? It appears that certain mysteries are best left unresolved, but maybe that's precisely what draws us back for more. Imagine a calm fall day in October of 2023. The air is crisp and the leaves are turning. Additionally, Grizzly Gaz, a well-liked YouTuber who is well known for his daring camping excursions throughout the United Kingdom, embarks on yet another adventure. Gaz explores a deep, enigmatic woodland with his faithful French bulldog, Fendi, at his side. The most recent entry in his exciting outdoor series is highly anticipated by his fans, unaware of the terrifying things that are going to happen, but these forests have their own secrets. Old, dark secrets.
But I'm in this woodland, and I've heard that pagans come in here to do their rituals. Is that what you want to call it? So I'm looking for, it's a large down tree, and it's around this area somewhere. So I'll have to figure out where that is quickly because we're losing light.
A dark presence that lurks beneath the canopy is suggested by local lore of strange gatherings and pagan rites.
Don't know, does this look like a pagan ritual site? I'll tell you one thing, it looks creepy, so let's camp here, shall we?
A foreboding atmosphere descends across the woodland as Gaz reaches a location known only as the Downfallen Three. He makes camp as night falls, the only sound disturbing the silence of the forest being the rustle of leaves. The atmosphere increases as the forest is enveloped in darkness. In the hopes of a restful night, Gaz and Fendi withdraw into their tent. But what they find is far from tranquilly.
Attracted all flies. Hey. Right, come on. Why is this light gone off? Oh, there we go. Let's pick it back up again now. So I hope there's no widow makers falling us. That'd be no good, would it, mate?
Unusual sounds start to reverberate throughout the night. Whispers, footsteps, and the distinct sense of being observed. As spectators are left wondering, the anxiety increases with every minute that goes by. If you were Gaz, how would you respond? Then someone or something hits.
Oh, fuck! 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 Fucking hell. Where the fuck? Fendi! Fendi! Come here, mate. Oh, you're alright. What the fuck was that? Fucking flies.
Gaz and Fendi are pressed down as the tent abruptly collapses. Gaz can only see a few inches ahead of him as he panics and emerges into the dark night.
That's got to have been someone fucking around me there, hasn't it? Right, come here. Come here. Right, I'm going to turn this light off.
You can feel the presence. Just out of sight is a silent threat. In an attempt to conceal his whereabouts from the invisible invader, Gaz desperately chooses to switch off his light.
I'm going to have to go back and get my stuff, man. My car keys are in there as well, in the tent.
Late at night, Gaz quickly gathers his belongings, leaves the tent, and runs away with Fendi through the woods. Their hasty footsteps are the only sound to break the eerie calm. A last-ditch effort to get away from whatever evil thing had broken into their camp. The mystery persists even after they reach safety. For what reason did they leave?
Wow, what a crazy night that was, eh? When I was packing up, I managed to get my my sleeping bag and everything and get that in my backpack. Then I heard loads and loads of screaming, like shouting from men, and it sounded like there were about 20 or 30 of them. And then they all started running, and it sounded like they were coming towards tent, so I just grabbed my bag and off skis, because my keys were in my bag.
When Gaz returns to the location 2 days later, he discovers his tent ripped apart and the area in a state of chaos. There are still unresolved questions. That night, what or who was haunting them? What caused it to abandon their campground in ruins? A nagging question remains as we depart from Gaz's eerie adventure. What else could be concealed in the shadows of the world's abandoned locations? It appears that certain mysteries are best left unresolved, but maybe that's precisely what draws us back for more.